Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to On the Mic with Mike, the Mike King Biz Call Federal Credit Union Radio Studio. It is Mike and it is
Mindy.
And the name of the program is
Mike and Mindy.
Mike and Mindy. We are giving you life's hacks, questioning the business community. We're touching on topics. Today we're on less than.
The less thans.
The less thans. We've touched on the much maligned middle managers. We touched on, hey, we always did it like that. You know, man up. Yeah. Pull yourself up by the bootstraps. We always did it like that.
It was amazing to me. I was thinking about it. Last night, we made the jump. We left Xfinity and moved over to YouTube TV.
Really?
Yep. And it so far has been awesome. I cannot believe. Well, anyway, my point is, why are businesses, we've always done it this way, but when you're in your home and you got the cool new shiny thing on the app on your TV, we're just ready to jump. Like, how do we get so stuck in we've always done this way in business, but we're home and we got new tech gadgets and we're going to jump into the deep end of the pool and play with them?
Yes,
why
because
is that?
Your husband, he's rolling with
my husband is an early adopter.
Exactly. Yes. Because, ma'am, we've always done that. Remember, we've had the conversation about people who wear suspenders and belts. They're a different breed.
We were just talking about risk selection earlier.
Right. Okay. So the risk selection.
Those are a low level of risk selection.
They do not. That is why I am paying those people $200 and some a month for cable, Xfinity, because, and I look at the same 4 things every time.
Well, I have a question for you, a user question. Do you watch Xfinity on your smart TV through the app, or do you use the box?
My wife uses the app.
Okay.
I hit up the box every time.
All right. Well, here's what blew me away. We have internet. We have Xfinity internet, and I'm using the Xfinity app to stream cable on my smart TV. The YouTube picture is 20 times better than the picture quality of what we get through the Xfinity app. Their own app that feeds off their cable. YouTube TV is better.
So you had always done it like that. What made you? Instead of just dipping your toe in the deep end of the cold water, you jumped in. You guys did a cannonball.
I didn't jump in. I did what I normally do.
You did due diligence.
Kind of, but it was really just listening to people for like a year. Like the people I know and I like and I trust. You hear people drop hints about it. I dropped Xfinity a long time ago, or even when we just changed cell phone carriers. But when the people I really, really trust, who have always given me good advice, say, I did this, I did that, I added NFL Red Zone, I added ACC, football's coming. And
that Red Zone's nice.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
That Red Zone, yes.
So, and then we called Xfinity because our bill jumped like by $40 in the last couple of months. So we called Xfinity because we're out of our package. And Xfinity basically said you could rebundle and it would save you $7 a month, or we could make the jump and go over to YouTube TV and get more for less money. So you tell me. I'm getting more channels for less than Xfinity with a better picture.
Hello, YouTube.
Yeah. So hello, YouTube.
All right, ma'am. So we're going to go talk about that from the reasonable person standard.
Okay.
When we look at that from a business standpoint, do you think sometimes businesses get so used to the deals are for new people to lure people in, as opposed to taking care of the ones that you have?
Well, yeah, that's part of, sadly, I just left Verizon Wireless after 22 years, but I warned them 4 different times. I'm like, I see all these promotions for your new customers, but why am I paying so much money? And I've been with you 22 years, and nobody had a good answer. So we left Verizon Wireless. The problem is all this is work. But when it comes to a workplace, I don't think that's what we're seeing. Unless you're still writing big sign-on bonus checks that you didn't write for other people that you've already employed, we're still living at a time where if you're a newly hired employee, you're getting less than the more established employees because there's seniority levels built into benefit packages. There's that, if you still have probationary period in your employee handbook, please get rid of it. But we still have introductory periods. And while we might give you a lump sum of PTO when you start, you can't use it in the first 90 days. And yes, we have bereavement leave, but God forbid you have a death in your immediate family in the first 90 days.
Because
we might give you the time off, but it's still not going to be paid. This is what I mean about the less thans.
So we're touching on the less thans. And the less thans are first cousins to
middle managers.
Middle managers.
Oh, poor middle managers.
They're second cousins to because a middle manager, but there's more pressure on them to
They're getting
produce.
squeezed.
The less than's, you're happy to once the excitement happens and you get the job and the excitement wears off and now you're just in the job.
Right. Well, I think there was a mentality for a period of time that the less than's, it's that dangling carrot thing, right?
Okay. Okay, go ahead and tell folks who you are. It's a dangling carrot.
I'm going to talk about the dangling carrot and what was 20 years ago versus what is today. So let's just pretend you're trying to evolve your culture, maybe change up your benefit offerings, maybe even redo your employee handbook so it's a little bit more in line with
look who it is
in your workplace versus how an attorney talks. If you take a step back
I'm on
and
the
look
air
at all
now.
of that, if you say 20 years ago we had probationary employees and there was a 90-day wait to get XYZ things or a 90-day wait to even use paid leave, like many dangling carrots, there was always this thinking that if you see it in the employee handbook and you know you gotta stay here X period of time to get it, this dangling carrot works. So that was 20 years ago. Sometimes called the golden handcuffs, although it's usually associated with some
upper
level bonus plan for the end of the year. I don't know if that works anymore, and we've talked about why. Recruiting and hiring employees 20 years ago is not the same as today. Today we have more tools, more ability, more time to devote to getting the right people in the right seats. There's often it's not so much that you're lucky we hired you, it's a mutual investment. In a modern day workplace, it's a mutual investment, particularly for small businesses. If you've got an employee who's going out on a limb, who's used to all like the cushions and the protections of the big company, and they go out on a limb to go with a smaller company that might be less financially stable, but has a lot more sort of chutzpah and benefits and fun attached with it, but not as much financial stability perhaps, and they go out on a limb. But recruiting really, at least in small businesses, has more become of you're investing in us, we're investing in you. And if you've got that mutual understanding right out of the gate, why are we treating them as less thans? That's where I'm sort of in conflict with all of these waiting periods for certain benefits, particularly if they're critical. If you really want to put in your employee handbook, well, if unfortunately you have a death in your immediate family in your first 90 days of employment, we may or may not give you the day off, and you're definitely not being paid for that time. Like, what kind of message does that send? Particularly when you've spent all of this time putting the job posting out, recruiting talent, screening talent, putting them through multiple interviews. Like, you look at all the time to make that right decision, and then the first day of work, what we're going to have you sign a non-compete to tell you we don't trust you, which, by the way, are for the most part not lawful any longer. And then you're going to see all these employee benefits that you don't get for the first 90 to 365 days. So that's what I mean by the less than.
So with the less than, we get to 1 year, we're off the probationary period. Do you think we feel like we made it, or what is it? All right, so in the military,
I think there was some kind of sense of relief by 20 years ago or more. Oh, I'm out of my probationary period, which I can't stand the term anyway, but a lot of people to this day still think probationary period buys you some sort of less risk with people you hire. It most certainly does not. It doesn't even necessarily getting you out of paying for the unemployment claim out of your unemployment tax account in many states. So anytime I see probationary period in the handbook, I want it out immediately.
So do you think that we've gotten past, we're more open to the mindset of taking care employee empowerment, so that we're not so much looking at that side of the less than?
Yes.
Because we didn't look at okay. It's like there's certain people.
All they have less of is less experience in that company at that time. That's all they have less of if you've made the right decision.
Because unless you hired for fit and we're training you
on skill.
Right. Yeah. Then we go back to the whole idea like enterprise. We would rather you come on board and we'll train you in our system than fixing other problem, bad habits that you learned.
Right.
We're going to teach you our bad habits.
That's right. Do it our way, even though we're not perfect.
Right.
And like anything with the pendulum swinging either way, I'm always eager for it to land in the middle, right? Like, I am all for hiring greener talent and investing in them. But I don't know if everybody needs to be greener, because we want you to do it our way and only our way, because back to our conversations about diversity of thought. everybody that has different experiences from different companies, they all come together in this nice little recipe where you actually really have open door and give suggestions, some consideration. You can't tell me you're not going to be making more informed decisions if you actually listen to the feedback of the people that are doing the work on the front lines. So
there you go.
That's my thoughts on
Mike and Mindy, the less than's.
the less than.
The less
Can
than.
we get rid of language in the handbook that tells new hires they're less than? That's what I'm wondering.
So sometimes, I don't know whether it starts at the bottom. So we had a young person in here, Nikki was in here yesterday. She is a high school student from Douglas Freeman.
Okay.
And she started a nonprofit to help students.
As a high school student?
Yes.
Good for her.
As to help students who are new, whether they're having issues. Before, it used to be English as a second language.
Mm-hmm.
So now we don't call them that anymore.
Mm-hmm.
We call them multilingual.
Well, okay.
And because I said, when you look at it that way, because we're going to hold you to a different level because English isn't your first language. Crack up. It's a little backhand compliment to you.
Mm-hmm.
So you're coming into a place, you don't know the culture. The language isn't your first language, maybe.
Mm-hmm.
You don't know who to talk to, where to sit. And she came up with that idea, and there were teachers on board. I asked her, what made you come up with that? And so she said, hey, I saw kids who were coming in, and you saw that they were stressing. So sometimes I always ask people, can good culture be a groundswell from the bottom? Or does it always have to start at the top? Mm-hmm. And maybe younger people pushing things because they're always going to be like that. No, can't do that. We always did it like that.
Yeah, so I'm all for it going in both directions. The young people don't have all the answers, but the people up top don't have all the answers either. So it should be top down and bottom up to land in a good decision.
Yeah. And that is what you call it, the reasonable
person standard, your favorite.
Mm-hmm. Yes. And you know what? And that is related to good common sense.
Yeah.
And the problem with good common sense?
Not everybody has it.
Not everybody has it. And I think people
have it. Is that affordable housing?
Yes, it's affordable. Affordable means different things to different people.
Yes, it does.
It does.
If you believe that's the case, then if you want to debate out the reasonable person standard in any organization, the next thing I'd say is, what do your core values tell me? What did you say was important? You told the external public these core values were important, but are they a part of your marketing message, or are they actually a part of your culture? Because to land on reasonable person and talk through with everybody that you actually considered their suggestion and we can or cannot do it, it all goes back to, maybe we can't do it because it's a good idea 2 years from now, but it isn't a cultural fit for us right now. That way people feel like they're heard.
Mike and Mindy touching on the burning topics of the day. Back in the day, we used to stand up every day and say the Pledge of Allegiance. Mm-hmm. I'm not sure. I don't know if they do that anymore. Not exactly sure.
We were at a sporting event that they just did that. When we were at the Henrico.
Yes, the sports Big Ten, the A10.
Yes.
Okay.
Right.
How about if?
Yeah,
we did. Okay. How about if we did that at an individual business? We had people every morning. We went over and did our core value mission statement.
Well,
every morning.
I know some companies that do that. They call it the huddle. That's how they kick off every morning.
So there is nothing in your HR lens that there would be a problem with that.
If it was our vision, our mission, and our values, and we restated it at the beginning of every day to get people motivated and growing in the right direction, no, I have no issue with that.
Okay.
Yeah. Why? Do you? Tell me if you do.
Oh, no, I don't. But there is a company out there that they sort of do that.
I mean, is the juice worth the squeeze to take up that much time out of everyone's morning?
We can do it fast.
Yeah.
So when you
maybe it's the way you start every week. Maybe that's Monday morning.
I think
some people call it the stand up. I heard it called the huddle.
Okay.
Yeah.
So you're a basketball fan, and you're Syracuse. There you go. And so you see when they call timeout, the first thing that happens is the coaches go timeout. Mm-hmm. They go huddle up, and then they talk to. We learned that from Coach OB.
Mm-hmm. We did.
And so over VCU's coach. So they go over there and they huddle up first, and then they come and talk to the players.
Right.
So they all they have differing voices, like you like.
Different assistant coaches.
Have their say, and then the coach goes and talks to the people. You have an open door policy. Everyone has I've never seen a person says we have a closed door policy. No, I've never seen that. But
Yes,
now
but
you
that
really,
could, whether you said it or not, that could be the underlying feeling of
No,
everyone that's working there.
everyone knows that you.
Which then, unfortunately, that means when they open up the handbook and they see open door policy in it, they laugh, and that's never a good thing.
It's not because you really had that. I talked to someone the other day, and they really came up with the idea, and they still thought that HR was for them, was the organization within the organization for the employees. And this was a person in their 40s, I think.
It's supposed to be, but not directly. It's for them because if HR did their job strategically, the HR infrastructure that their managers leverage every day is in support of them being a part of a good work culture.
There you go.
That's how it's supposed to be.
That's what it's supposed to be.
The thing is, when people think HR is here to directly benefit me, probably in extreme situations, if you bring forth something really concerning that needs to be addressed this minute and HR is your ally to right the wrong. But that doesn't happen as often as you think. I'll give you the extreme example. Is HR your ally when you come into HR and say, I need my boss investigated for harassment? They keep rolling their eyes at me in the meetings. Yeah, that's not harassment. And that's where we're going to have to tell you it's not illegal to be a jerk. That's not great conduct. It's certainly in violation of our core values, but that does not rise to the level of being investigated. So now we're going to help you figure out how to repair this relationship with your manager. But where they feel like they don't have an ally is the first thing HR says is, sorry, that doesn't rise to the legal definition of harassment. I'll help you, but there's no formal investigation to be had.
So there's nowhere in the
That's
HR,
where the breakdown is sometimes.
The HR manual that said no area that said the manager's a jerk. These are the steps.
Well, right, yeah.
You don't have.
No.
There's too many instances.
Well, we talked about this earlier. How many people were in leadership positions that really didn't want to have employees reporting to them in the first
No, they were
place?
just good sales guys.
Right.
And they made them.
No, I mean, sometimes they're really good technical guys. There's plenty of engineers I know that got promoted to manager, and they don't want to talk to anybody all day long. So I don't know. I thought it was a good idea to make them a leader.
We don't know.
Yeah.
On the Mike and Mindy is the name of the program. How can people get information about Inspiring HR?
Please visit inspiringhr.com, fill out our contact us form, or on our services page, you can schedule an introductory call that'll route to myself or Valerie Juarez. If you want to give us a test drive of whatever your burning HR people management concern is, first 45 minutes free. A lot of people that think about working with us, they have us do a spot check of their current employee handbook to let them know if they need a new one or if that one can be saved and updated. That's what's most common in terms of first 45 minutes free. Follow us on LinkedIn, connect with me on LinkedIn, send me a message, or old school is 804-715-1920.
Mike and Mindy's the name of the program. I'd like to thank you for tuning in. Mindy has to go. Stay with us. Friday mornings, 6:30 a.m. That's where you find us. Burning Question. Emily Dodge, how you doing out there? All right, hey, Pastor Miles, what's up, man? How are you? No, hit me up. We got to talk. So we got to go. Oh, that's my Brotox lady. You can get the CKE Rejuvenation is out there.
Very
she
nice.
told me I could get Botox.
Wait, before we finish, you did a shout out to Call Federal Credit Union, which
Yes.
I hadn't heard you do today. I hadn't done before. Is there any new sponsor?
Yeah, look behind us.
Oh,
No, the other way.
where?
Right there. On the step and repeat.
Oh,
There we go.
Cool. Well, thank you very much for your sponsorship.
So Call Federal, that is Sharita Hayes, and those guys, like to thank them. They're total community champions, and that's why I rock with them. Same as we'd like to thank Mindy Flanagan. Yes.
Very welcome.
Oh, it's always good because I always say the microphone ain't free and my grandkids need stuff. We got to stay on the air, folks.
Okay,
on the
Stamp.
microphone.
Bye.
Stamp. See you. Bye.